VC of NITI Aayog, Mr. Bery. Mr. Bery, good evening. Thank you very much for speaking to Times Now. Thank you for speaking to me. Simple and direct questions to you. A lot has been made, of course, about the reformist streak of this budget, the fact that allocations, for example, to the agricultural sector or on policies that benefit the farmers have been pruned. And there is a general thrust towards lessening entitlement and increasing the empowerment quotient. The opposition says that this is a callous government that has forgotten about the welfare of farmers. The word poverty and several other adjectives to describe the disadvantage have not even been used in the budget. Unemployment, joblessness, none of them figure in the budget speech. And only twice has the word poor been mentioned. How do you respond to this?
Rahul, I would say that, in all societies, there is a central left point of view and a center right point of view. The center right point of view, which I think this government has been repeatedly re-elected to express, essentially believes in empowerment, in safety nets, but in what economists call agency of the individual rather than handouts. Okay? So I think the budget has a very clear logic to it. It does derive from the perception of from the vision of the Prime Minister at the Red Fort. India should aspire to be a developed country by 2047. And developed is a matter of, yes, per capita income, but it is also a matter of agency and choice. Now, as I see it, what this budget is doing is acknowledging the fact, and this was acknowledged yesterday in the economic survey as well, that there are continuing global headwinds, and then is looking for ways to empower, your word, many pockets in India which are capable of compensating from the demand drag that is coming from the external sector, both in terms of trade and also finance. So that, to me, is the logic, and if you like, I can talk about, as it were, all of those latent pockets of activity that this government or this budget is trying to activate. But if you believe that you've had enough recitation of that, we can talk about other things. But I would say that, for example, the focus on self-help groups, empowering them, makes me it strikes me as very reminiscent, actually, of the journey that Italy went in the 20 or 30 years after the war. Italy has now emerged as a fashion capital of the world. It wasn't always so. We today are at the per capita income of Italy in 1953. Okay? And so I think one thrust of this budget is to say we have our Vishwakarmas, we have our self-help groups, we have our one district, one product. India is an entrepreneurial and creative society which has, in many ways, been ignored by the growth thrust of the past. And this is an opportunity, as people are trying to recover from COVID, of unlocking the energy and the talent in some of the more forgotten parts of the society.